Have you ever wondered if the foods you eat every single day are quietly destroying your heart, one bite at a time? We all know that salt can be bad for our heart. Our doctors warn us, the news reports on it. But what if I told you, there's something even worse than salt, something far more dangerous, and it's likely sitting in your kitchen right now. You could have had it for breakfast this morning, and you wouldn't even know the damage it's causing. Every year, over 700,000 Americans die from heart disease. And the worst part, many of these deaths could have been prevented simply by knowing which foods to avoid. Not the obvious ones, but the sneaky, everyday foods that raise your blood pressure, clog your arteries, and weaken your heart without a single warning sign. These are the foods we trust, the ones we grab when we're in a rush, or the ones we grew up eating because no one told us better. Foods loaded with sugars, hidden fats, and chemicals that trigger silent inflammation, the kind that builds up slowly until one day, it's too late. And here's the real shocker. One of the worst offenders is a food many of us still believe is healthy. You might even be feeding it to your grandkids, thinking you're doing the right thing. But science says otherwise. This one food spikes your blood sugar, damages your arteries, and increases your risk of heart attack or stroke, especially if you're over 50. In today's video, we're diving deep. You'll discover 13 common foods scientifically proven to harm your heart. Foods that most Americans over 50 eat regularly without ever realizing the risk. We're not just talking about fast food or chips. This list includes drinks, condiments, and so-called healthy choices that do more damage than good. And stay with me until the end, because the worst food for your heart will surprise you. It's one of the most popular items on breakfast plates across America. But after hearing what it really does inside your body, you'll never look at it the same way again. Remember, it's never too late to protect your heart and add years to your life. A few simple changes, knowing what to avoid, can make all the difference. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's uncover the hidden killers that could be shortening your life without you even realizing it. Your heart and your loved ones are counting on you. Sugary drinks, the sweet trap destroying your heart. Let me ask you, when was the last time you reached for a cold soda, a sweet iced tea, or maybe even a healthy fruit juice? It's so common, we don't even think twice. After all, how bad could a glass of juice or a can of soda really be? The truth? It's far worse than you think. Sugary drinks are like liquid candy, but unlike a piece of chocolate or a slice of cake, they hit your body fast. That sugar rush slams straight into your bloodstream, forcing your pancreas into overdrive to produce insulin. And every time this happens, your blood vessels suffer. But here's where it gets really dangerous, especially as we get older. These sugary drinks don't just add a few extra pounds around the waist. They fuel inflammation deep inside your body, damaging the very arteries that keep your heart pumping. Over time, this silent damage builds up, raising your risk of heart attacks and strokes, even if you're not overweight. And don't be fooled by labels like diet or zero sugar. Studies show that diet sodas may be just as dangerous, triggering insulin resistance and messing with your gut health, both major risk factors for heart disease. Even those boxed fruit juices that claim to be natural or vitamin-packed are often loaded with high fructose corn syrup, the same stuff that overwhelms your liver, promotes dangerous belly fat, and raises your triglyceride levels sky high. What's scary is that most people over 50 drink these daily without realizing they're pouring heart trouble straight into their glass. And the older we get, the harder it becomes for our bodies to bounce back from this kind of damage. So what's the solution? Simple. Ditch the sugary drinks. Replace them with sparkling water, unsweetened iced tea, or a splash of lemon in your water. Your heart will thank you, and so will your waistline. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Because the next food on our list hides in more places than you realize. and it's even sneakier than sugary drinks. Stay with me. You will believe what's coming next. The hidden hard threat lurking in your pantry, hydrogenated vegetable oils. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever spread margarine on your morning toast, enjoyed a store-bought cookie, or grabbed a quick bite of something fried at your favorite diner? Feels harmless, right? Maybe even healthier than butter? What if I told you that simple habit might be slowly destroying your heart? The real danger hides in something called hydrogenated vegetable oils. Oils chemically altered to give processed foods a longer shelf life and that rich, creamy texture. But in that process, these oils turn into trans fats, one of the deadliest substances you can put in your body. Trans fats are silent killers. They raise your bad LDL cholesterol, lower your good HDL cholesterol, and trigger chronic inflammation throughout your body, especially in your arteries. This creates the perfect storm for heart attacks, strokes, and high blood pressure, conditions that already put us at greater risk as we age. What's even more frightening is how sneaky these oils are. You'll find them hiding in packaged cookies and crackers, store-bought pastries, fried foods from restaurants, even some healthy breads and microwave popcorn. And don't be fooled by labels that claim 0 grams of trans fat. By law, food companies can round down if there's less than half a gram per serving, but those small amounts add up fast, especially if you're eating multiple servings a day. The World Health Organization has warned that no amount of trans fat is safe, and eliminating it could prevent millions of heart-related deaths worldwide. So what can you do? Start reading those labels carefully. Look for words like partially hydrogenated oils and steer clear. Swap out margarine for extra virgin olive oil or real butter in moderation. And when it comes to frying, opt for healthier oils like avocado or coconut oil, but only occasionally. Because every small change you make now, every bad oil you eliminate, adds up to more years, more energy, and a stronger heart. And if you think that was bad, wait until you hear about what frying those oils does to your body. Up next, fried foods and why they're far worse than you ever imagined. Fried foods, the crispy killer, aging your heart from the inside out. Now, let me paint you a familiar scene. You're at your favorite local diner. The smell of crispy fries and golden fried chicken fills the air. You think, it's just a treat. What's the harm? But here's the harsh truth. It's not just the salt you need to worry about. It's what happens when that oil heats up, breaks down, and turns every bite into a ticking time bomb for your heart. See, every time those potatoes, chicken, or fish hit that bubbling fryer, especially the kind used over and over in restaurants, the oil releases toxic compounds that your body struggles to process. These compounds damage your cells, stiffen your arteries, and fuel the very inflammation that leads to heart attacks and strokes. And the danger doesn't stop there. Fried foods are loaded with saturated and trans fats, both proven to raise your bad LDL cholesterol while lowering your good HDL cholesterol. Over time, this creates sticky plaque inside your arteries, clogging the very pathways your heart needs to stay alive. What's even worse? Most fast food chains reuse their oil multiple times, breaking it down until it's full of harmful chemicals. With every crispy bite, you're not just filling up, you're speeding up cellular aging, exhausting your heart, and doubling your risk of heart disease. Ever notice how fried foods make you feel sluggish and heavy afterward? That's your body struggling to digest those unhealthy fats. And the older we get, the harder that battle becomes, leading to weight gain, high blood pressure, and even metabolic syndrome. But here's the good news. You're in control. Limit fried foods, especially from fast food joints or diners, where you don't know how fresh that oil really is. If you're craving a crunch, try baking or using an air fryer at home with heart-healthy oils. Your heart will thank you for it. And trust me, the next food on this list is just as dangerous. And it might be sitting in your fridge right now. processed meats, and what they're really doing to your heart, coming up next. Stay with me. Processed meats, the breakfast favorite, that is breaking your heart. Ow. I know this might hit close to home because who doesn't love the smell of sizzling bacon in the morning? Or a hearty ham sandwich for lunch? For many of us, it's been a comfort food since childhood, a classic part of the American diet. But here's the hard truth. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, ham, and salami come with a hidden price, and it's one your heart can't afford. You see, these meats are packed with saturated fats, sodium, and chemicals called nitrites and nitrates, added to preserve flavor, color, and shelf life. But once they enter your body, those same chemicals can turn toxic, raising your blood pressure, clogging your arteries, and even increasing your risk of certain cancers. It's not just the fat you need to worry about, although that alone is enough to skyrocket your bad cholesterol, LDL. It's the way these processed meats interact with your body, especially when cooked at high heat. Studies show that frying bacon or grilling sausages causes these preservatives to form nitrosamines, highly inflammatory compounds linked directly to heart disease and cancer. And here's where it gets even more dangerous for folks like us over 50. The older we get, the less flexible our arteries become. Combine that with the daily sodium bomb from processed meats, and you're pushing your heart harder and harder every single day, raising your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even premature death. And don't be fooled by low-fat or lean labels. The sodium and chemicals are still there, quietly wreaking havoc on your cardiovascular system. The good news? You don't have to give up your favorite flavors completely. Swap processed meats for healthier proteins, grilled chicken, wild-caught fish, or even plant-based options packed with heart-friendly nutrients. If you're craving that smoky flavor, try seasoning meats naturally or slow roasting them at home. Because the truth is, every slice of bacon or sausage you skip could add years to your life. And coming up next, a so-called healthy swap many people make that might be even worse for your heart. Let's talk about margarine and vegetable creams. Stay tuned. The healthy spread that's aging your heart faster, margarine and vegetable creams. Now let me ask you, did you ever swap butter for margarine because you thought it was the heart-healthy choice? You're not alone. For decades we were told margarine was better, less saturated fat, fewer calories. Sounded like a smart move, right? But here's the shocking truth. That healthy spread in your fridge might be doing more damage to your heart than butter ever could. See, margarine and those vegetable creams are often made with hydrogenated vegetable oils, packed full of trans fats. The worst kind of fat for your heart. Trans fats don't just raise your bad cholesterol, LDL, they lower your good cholesterol, HDL, creating the perfect recipe for clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and heart disease. And here's the kicker. Trans fats also speed up the aging process inside your body. They create inflammation at the cellular level, damaging your blood vessels and making your heart work overtime. Over the years, that damage adds up, increasing your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even type 2 diabetes. What makes it worse is how sneaky these fats are. Many margarine brands and vegetable creams still contain small amounts of trans fats, even if the label says 0 grams per serving, because in the US anything less than 0.5 grams can legally be rounded down. But spread that on toast every morning? It adds up faster than you think. And here's something most folks don't realize: when you cook or bake with margarine, especially at high heat, it breaks down even further, releasing toxic compounds that can damage your heart and accelerate aging. So what's the better choice? Go back to basics. If you need a spread, use real butter in moderation, or better yet, switch to heart-healthy alternatives like extra virgin olive oil or avocado spread. They nourish your body without the hidden dangers. Because remember, it's the small choices we make every day that shape our health for years to come. And speaking of small choices, up next is a food most of us eat every single day, and it's doing more harm than good. Let's talk about refined breads and pasta. Stay with me. The daily comfort food that's quietly wrecking your heart. Refined breads and pasta. Now I know this one's going to surprise a lot of folks, because for many of us, warm bread or a hearty bowl of pasta is pure comfort food. It's been part of our meals for generations, from family dinners to Sunday breakfasts. But here's what most people don't realize. That soft, fluffy white bread or that steaming plate of pasta may be doing your heart more harm than good. See, refined breads and pastas are made from white flour, stripped of fiber, vitamins, iron and nutrients. What you're left with is a fast-acting carbohydrate that spikes your blood sugar almost instantly, forcing your body to pump out large amounts of insulin just to keep up. And over time, that constant roller coaster ride of blood sugar and insulin takes its toll. It leads to insulin resistance, one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and dangerous belly fat accumulation. The kind of fat that wraps around your organs and silently increases your risk of high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. Ever noticed how you can eat a sandwich or a big bowl of pasta and feel hungry again just an hour later? That's because refined carbs don't keep you full. They burn fast, leaving you craving more. And those extra calories, they often turn straight into visceral fat, the most dangerous fat for your heart. And here's the sneaky part. Even those whole wheat breads you see at the store, they aren't always what they seem. Many are just white flour with a sprinkle of whole grains and added sugar, giving you the same blood sugar spike. So what can you do? Start swapping refined carbs for true whole grains. Think 100% whole wheat bread, brown rice, quinoa, and sweet potatoes. These foods digest slower, keep your blood sugar steady, and protect your heart for the long run. Because the truth is, what you put on your plate today will shape your heart health tomorrow. And next, we're diving into one of the biggest sweet temptations that's hurting your heart more than you realize. Let's talk about processed sweets and why they're more dangerous than you think. Stay with me. The sweetest trap: how cookies, cakes, and ice cream are clogging your arteries. Now I get it. Who doesn't love a sweet treat after dinner? A scoop of ice cream, a slice of cake, or a couple of cookies with your coffee. It feels harmless, maybe even well-deserved after a long day. But here's what most folks don't realize. Those sweet little moments could be quietly damaging your heart far more than you think. See, processed sweets, the ones lining grocery store shelves, are loaded with refined sugar, trans fats, and chemical additives. And every time you indulge, that sugar floods your bloodstream, forcing your body to pump out insulin to manage the spike. Do this often enough, and it leads straight to insulin resistance, the first step toward type 2 diabetes, obesity, and, you guessed it, serious heart problems. But it's not just the sugar. Those hidden trans fats, used to give cookies and cakes that perfect texture and long shelf life, are silently hardening your arteries. Over time, they create sticky plaque that clogs your blood vessels, making it harder and harder for your heart to do its job. And the chemicals, things like artificial flavors, preservatives, and colorings, your body doesn't know what to do with them. They build up, triggering chronic inflammation that attacks your heart from the inside out. The scariest part? You don't feel it happening until one day your doctor's warning you about blocked arteries or high blood pressure. Now, I'm not saying you can never encounter a treat again, but there's a better way. Next time that sweet tooth kicks in, reach for dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao, fresh fruit, or even homemade desserts made with natural ingredients. You'll still satisfy the craving without pouring sugar and chemicals into your system. Because every time you say no to processed sweets, you're saying yes to your heart, your health, and more good years with the people you love. And up next, we're heading straight into one of the biggest culprits in American diets, the fast foods we grab on the go, and what they're really doing to your heart. You won't want to miss this. Let me ask you, how many times have you swung through a drive-thru because it was easy, fast, and let's face it, tasty? A burger, fries, maybe a milkshake. It feels like a harmless treat, right? But here's the truth no one likes to talk about. Fast food is the ultimate heart killer. Every single bite is packed with trans fats, refined sugar, sky-high sodium, and chemical additives. A deadly combination that puts your heart under attack long before you ever feel the damage. The burgers, the fried chicken, those golden fries, they're often cooked in oils that have been reused over and over again. That oil breaks down, producing toxic compounds that inflame your arteries and raise your bad cholesterol, setting the stage for heart disease, strokes, and even sudden cardiac events. But it's not just the frying that's the problem. The sodium levels in fast food meals are staggering, sometimes enough in one combo meal to cover your recommended intake for the entire day. All that salt leads to fluid retention, high blood pressure, and forces your heart to work harder with every single beat. And here's the kicker. Even the buns, the sauces, the dressings, they're loaded with hidden sugars and chemicals. That sugary bun and special sauce spike your blood sugar, promote belly fat, and worsen insulin resistance, making your heart's job even tougher. It's no wonder studies show that people who eat fast food regularly are at a significantly higher risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and premature death, even if they don't look overweight. Now, I know it's convenient, I know it saves time, but the price you pay later, with hospital visits, medications, and years off your life, just isn't worth it. If you truly want to protect your heart, it's time to rethink fast food. Swap that drive-through meal for something home-cooked. Grilled chicken, roasted veggies, or a hearty salad. Your heart will thank you every single day. And up next, we're tackling something many people think gives them energy, but it's actually draining their heart. Let's talk about energy drinks and why they're more dangerous than you think. Stay tuned. Energy drinks, the pick-me-up, that's breaking your heart. Now let me ask you, have you ever reached for one of those brightly colored energy drinks, thinking it might give you that extra boost to power through the day? After all, they're everywhere. Gas stations, grocery stores, even gyms, promising energy, focus, and stamina. But here's what those flashy cans don't tell you. What they're really boosting is your risk of a heart attack. Energy drinks are loaded with sky-high levels of caffeine, sugar, and powerful stimulants like taurine and guarana. And while it might feel like a harmless jolt, the impact on your heart is anything but harmless, especially as we get older. That caffeine hit doesn't just wake you up, it forces your heart to race, your blood vessels to constrict, and your blood pressure to surge. For someone already dealing with high blood pressure or weakened arteries, this can be downright dangerous. In fact, studies show that energy drinks can trigger heart palpitations, arrhythmias, and even cardiac arrest. Sometimes in perfectly healthy adults. And that's just the start. Most energy drinks are packed with more sugar than a can of soda, some with over 50 grams in a single can. All that sugar spikes your blood glucose, feeds belly fat, and leads to insulin resistance, one of the fastest ways to develop heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Even the so-called sugar-free versions aren't safe. They're loaded with artificial sweeteners and chemicals that can disrupt your gut health, increase inflammation, and put even more strain on your heart. And here's the scary part. Energy drinks don't wear a warning label, but for folks over 50, especially those with heart issues, they might as well. If you find yourself reaching for an energy drink just to get through the day, it's time to rethink the habit. Swap it out for water, unsweetened iced tea, or a simple cup of black coffee in moderation. Even better, fuel your body with whole foods that naturally sustain your energy. Because trust me, Your heart wasn't designed to handle this kind of daily shock. And coming up next, you won't believe how a simple breakfast cereal could be one of the worst things you're feeding your heart. Stay with me. We're just getting started. The breakfast mistake that's setting your heart up for failure. Sugary breakfast. Cereals. Now let me paint a familiar picture. You wake up, pour yourself a nice bowl of colorful cereal, maybe add a splash of milk, and think, well, at least I'm starting my day right. But here's the shocking truth. That so-called healthy breakfast is likely one of the worst things you can put in your body first thing in the morning, especially if you're over 50 and care about your heart. Most of those popular breakfast cereals, the ones lining every grocery store aisle, are nothing more than sugar bombs disguised as health food. With every spoonful, you're flooding your body with refined sugar, processed grains, and artificial additives. The result? Your blood sugar spikes fast, forcing your pancreas to pump out insulin. And what goes up must come crashing down. Within a couple of hours, your energy dips, your cravings kick in, and your body's already storing fat right around your belly. And as we know, belly fat is one of the most dangerous risk factors for heart disease. But the damage doesn't stop there. Many of these cereals are also loaded with high fructose corn syrup and artificial colorings, both proven to trigger chronic inflammation and raise your risk of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and heart attacks. Even those whole grain or heart-healthy claims on the box, don't be fooled. Flip it over and check the label. Chances are the first or second ingredient is still sugar. And here's what most folks don't realize. Starting your day like this sets the tone for everything that follows. You're more likely to overeat, snack, and crash, putting extra strain on your heart with every bite. So what's the better way? Switch to real, heart-friendly fuel, like steel-cut oats, unsweetened granola, or whole-grain cereals with fiber. Add some fresh berries or a handful of nuts, and now you're starting your day strong, with energy that lasts and protects your heart. Because breakfast should fuel your heart, not fight against it. And coming up next, we dive into a food group many of us grew up believing was healthy, whole milk and dairy, but what it's really doing inside your body might surprise you. Stay tuned. Whole milk and dairy, the comfort food that's quietly clogging your arteries. Now this one might surprise you because for generations we've been told that milk does a body good. A glass of cold milk, a slice of cheddar, a little cream in your coffee, it feels wholesome, comforting, even necessary. But here's the truth no one talks about. Whole milk and full-fat dairy products may be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to your heart. See, whole milk, butter, heavy cream, and those rich yellow cheeses we love are all packed with saturated fats. And while a little fat isn't the enemy, the saturated kind is dangerous. It raises your LDL, or bad cholesterol, and promotes inflammation deep inside your body. Over time, that inflammation damages your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. And that's exactly how high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes take hold. Quietly, slowly, until one day, it's too late. The scary part? You don't feel it happening. There are no obvious symptoms until the damage is done. And if you're over 50, or like most of us watching right now, your body simply can't process those heavy fats the way it used to. Instead, they build up, contributing to weight gain, belly fat, and metabolic issues like insulin resistance, all of which skyrocket your risk of heart disease. And it's not just the fat. Many dairy products today also contain hormones and antibiotics from modern farming practices, adding even more strain on your body's delicate balance. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up dairy completely. You just have to be smart about it. Switch to low-fat or fat-free versions of milk, yogurt, and cheese. Or better yet, try plant-based alternatives like almond milk, oat milk, or even tofu, rich in calcium but easier on your heart. Because every small change adds up. And protecting your heart today means more time, more memories, and more moments with the people you love. And coming up next, it's time to talk about the sneakiest danger of all hiding in your condiments: ketchup, mayo, and those store-bought sauces. They're not as harmless as you think. Stay with me. The hidden danger lurking in your condiments. Ready-made sauces. Now here's one most people never see coming, because what harm could a little ketchup, barbecue sauce, or mayo really do? It's just a condiment, right? Something you add for flavor, a small dash here, a spoonful there. But that's exactly how it sneaks up on you. The truth is, those ready-made sauces lining your fridge and pantry are often loaded with hidden sugars, sky-high sodium, and chemical additives. And every time you drizzle, dip, or slather, you're feeding your body exactly what your heart fears most. Let's start with sugar. And I'm not talking about dessert. A single tablespoon of ketchup can pack as much as 4 grams of sugar, the equivalent of a sugar cube. And how many of us stop at just 1 tablespoon? That sugar adds up fast, spiking your blood sugar and promoting belly fat, a major red flag for heart disease. Then there's the sodium, hidden in every squeeze of barbecue sauce, every dollop of mayo, every spoonful of store-bought salad dressing. That salt forces your body to hold on to water, raising your blood pressure little by little, day after day, until your heart is working overtime just to keep up. And let's not forget the chemical preservatives, flavor enhancers like MSG, and even high-fructose corn syrup hiding in those bottles. These ingredients trigger chronic inflammation, damage your arteries, and increase your risk of heart disease, all without you ever tasting the danger. The worst part, these condiments are so common, we hardly think twice. A sandwich isn't complete without a swipe of mayo. Grilled chicken? Gotta have the barbecue sauce. But it's these little daily habits that slowly, silently chip away at your heart health. So what's the better choice? Go homemade when you can. Fresh tomato sauce, olive oil-based dressings, or simple herbs and spices to bring out the flavor without the hidden heart risks. And when buying store-bought, read the labels. Choose versions with no added sugar, low sodium, and no artificial additives. Because every little change matters. And speaking of that, it's time. Up next, the worst food for your heart, the one that might be sitting in your fridge right now, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. The most dangerous food for your heart, bacon and processed meats, and here we are. The worst food for your heart. It's a staple on breakfast plates, in sandwiches, and at weekend barbecues across America. Bacon, ham, sausages, deli meats. Delicious? Absolutely. But deadly? You'd better believe it. See, processed meats are loaded with a dangerous combination of saturated fats, sky-high sodium, and chemical preservatives like nitrites and nitrates, all of which create a perfect storm inside your body. Every crispy bite of bacon, every slice of ham, every sausage link you eat is slowly clogging your arteries, raising your blood pressure and fueling inflammation deep within your body. Over time, this constant assault hardens your arteries, making it harder for your heart to pump blood, and setting you up for heart attacks, strokes, and even cancer. And it gets worse. When processed meats are cooked at high heat, like frying bacon or grilling sausage, those nitrites turn into nitrosamines, compounds proven to be highly carcinogenic. That means you're not just risking your heart, you're raising your risk of cancer too. What's terrifying is how common this is in our diets. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, bacon on the side, ham in the sandwich, salami on the charcuterie board. It adds up fast, and your heart pays the price. The research is clear. People who regularly consume processed meats have a much higher risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and early death. And for those of us over 50, the risks climb even higher. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up flavor to protect your heart. Swap out processed meats for heart-healthy proteins like grilled chicken, wild-caught fish, or plant-based options. If you crave that smoky flavor, try slow roasting meats with natural herbs and spices. No chemicals, no hidden dangers, because at the end of the day, your heart deserves better. Every small change you make, every processed meat you skip, is an investment in more years, more memories, and more moments with the people you love. Take control now. Your heart and your future are worth it. And there you have it, the 13 foods silently harming your heart every single day. Some of them may have surprised you, but now you know the truth. Remember, it's never too late to make small changes that protect your heart, boost your energy, and add years to your life. Every smart choice you make today is a gift to your future self and to the people who love you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Senior Wisdom, because here, we're dedicated to helping you live healthier, stronger, and longer, with practical tips, expert advice, and the knowledge you need to thrive at any age. And turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your heart will thank you. Until next time, stay well, stay strong, and as always, take care of that incredible heart of yours.